starting off, we're going to look at the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron signed an extension for $97.1 million with 2 years with a player option. That will take him into the 2025 NBA offseason with the Los Angeles Lakers. He has a player option at the end of that. This contract is going to take him until 40 with the Lakers, which is probably crazy and just speaks to how impactful he is, the longevity that he's had in the game, and the Los Angeles Lakers' commitment to him and his commitment to the Los Angeles Lakers for now. Just looking at their relationship that has been rocky, it looks like there's finally a commitment there. Like, hey, LeBron, you're committed to us for a couple more years, especially with Anthony Davis. I think he has a player option in the 2024-2025 season. So that's basically looking at Anthony Davis' extension. So they basically have, roughly 2 years, 3 years to bring a championship to LA, see what they can do. And I think that's a big signal to free agents as well, looking to come to LA. Looking at the 2023 free agency, I know there's been ties to Kyrie. There's also Chris Middleton, who has a player option to opt out. I don't know why he would leave the Bucks right now, especially playing with Giannis, but that is an option. James Harden, who knows what's going to happen in Philly. We've seen things fall off the tracks there in Philly before. We've seen James Harden move multiple teams before, you know what I mean? So, and get an opportunity to go to LA. He's usually out in LA anyway. So that is possible with his player option. And also Andrew Wiggins is there. Basically the second best player on the finals team last year for the Golden State Warriors. Is he looking for a bigger role? There's also Jordan Poole, who's out there. I think he's a restricted free agent. So these are some ideas of the Lakers that they can look at. But yeah, having LeBron and Anthony Davis there for 2 to 3 more years might make a free agent or might make a player who forces a trade a little bit more comfortable saying, hey, I want to go to LA. Now that there's at least a little bit more stability there, for at least for the next 2 years underneath this Laker regime here. So maybe that's an option there that they're exploring. And that brings me to the Russell Westbrook idea of 2 pathways here. Do they have to trade Russell Westbrook this season in order to salvage the season? Is this just a season where the Lakers can get back on track, see who can play, especially all the guys that they signed? I wrote it down here. Kendrick Nunn's returning. Dennis Schroeder, who they just signed for FIBA basketball in Germany, who had a big time in Germany. They signed Thomas Bryant from the Wizards, I believe, Lonnie Walker from the Spurs, Juan Chisano Anderson, Troy Brown Jr. from Detroit, and just looking, those are basically just flyers basically underneath their cap circumstances right now. Those are just flyers on players, seeing who can even contribute or help possibly to this team right now. They're looking at, they traded for Patrick Beverley, traded THT and Stanley Johnson for Patrick Beverley to up their perimeter defense, which is a big need for them. And those are just flyers trying to find some type of improvement over last year. They still have Austin Reeves on the roster, who had right spots for them last year. So the Lakers are basically just pulling out straws and saying, hey, can our stars, Russell Westbrook for now, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, stay healthy, stay on the floor, be consistent there, and possibly have some type of positive trajectory over last season rather than last season, and see what they can continue going in forward. Looking at their pathway with Russell Westbrook, it's like they're trying to dangle these 2027, 2029 draft picks. And it's like, okay, I understand why they're protective of them, but if they're in win now mode, they should be trying to get rid of those picks and Russell Westbrook off the books here, unless Russell Westbrook can find some type of stability here and some improvement in this game. But looking at those picks, it's like, are those picks really as good as they say they are? And that's always been the thing with picks now, especially with Danny Ainge and his picks. Are those picks as valuable around the league? Those 27 and 29 picks, those are 5-7 years down the way. Are those picks going to be there where we think they are? Because the Lakers have no money on the books in 2025. Who's to say they can't sign free agents out there or basically reload this team? You are the Los Angeles Lakers. There seems to be a little bit more stability there than when the days with Jim Buss was there. Jeannie Buss is taking over things. Rob Pelinka's over there. Even though there's still a little bit of friction there, that's the LeBron James era. But who's to say the LA can't bring some help in and be at least in the middle of the pack there? Those picks aren't going to be as valuable. Those picks are going to be in not out of the lottery potentially if they get some free agents in there and turn things around. Are those picks as good as they think they are? especially dealing with the potential that they can get free agents there. Also, looking at that, to me, it's just like there's free agents out there in 2025, 2026. I wrote it down here. In 2025, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, Drew Holiday, Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jamal Murray, and Lonzo Ball. Those are potential free agents out there that the Lakers could sign. I mean, these guys, George and Leonard, are in LA. Jimmy Butler trains in LA. Drew Holiday, I don't know if he's just looking for a change of scenery and probably one more big contract. Ben Simmons, who knows what his deal is. Is he potentially a guy that he's always in LA? Mainly, let me say this. Most NBA players are in the LA in the offseason, so that's not a big deal. But to play there, be able to build connections out there a little bit more stable as a Los Angeles Laker does seem appealing to these guys. And in 2026, Steph Curry's a free agent. I know it's a long shot, but hey, we're going to pay Steph Curry, pair him with somebody else, and it's possible. Joel Embiid, Damian Lillard, Durant, Giannis, Zach LaVine, SGA, DeAndre Ayton, and the long shot Jason Tatum, depending on what happens here in Boston, is a possibility. You know, he idolizes Kobe. It's not out of the realm that they can sit there and be like, hey, come save us. We'll pay you whatever the salary cap's going to be at that point, $500 million to come play with us. And you can be in the same building, the same jersey that Kobe wear. You know, so like there's possibilities out there that the Lakers could get better. So those 2027, 2029 draft picks, do they have to put those in the pairing with Russell Westbrook? Do they have to trade Russell Westbrook this year? Do they have the knowledge that Kyrie is going to come play for them next year? So there's some avenues there that are like, there's a lot of different directions the Lakers can go regarding Russell Westbrook, regarding these picks, regarding these trades. And quite honestly, looking at the trade targets they're trying to get, there's multiple team trade deals that people are coming up with. I think I saw Terry Rozier and Bogdan Bogdanovic coming to the Lakers in one trade. I got to look at that. But looking at these trade assets that they're trying to target, who's to say that, and for instance, the Indiana players with Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, that has been floating around for the past couple months. It's like, who's to say they can't get better deals for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner? Who says they have to trade them to the Lakers in order to get what they want? Like, Miles Turner can get possibly a draft pick, especially this season where teams need a big who can stretch the floor and block shots and be able to play defense a bit and rebound. Why wouldn't they look elsewhere and see, hey, can we get 2 first-round picks for this guy and we don't have to take on a bad contract, or we can get a player that we're actually looking at? Same with Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's making around, $20 million, $18 million, somewhere around there. Who's to say that, hey, there's shooters out there? Who's to say Dallas doesn't want a shooter, or Miami, or Brooklyn, or whoever? There can be better options out there that they can get better picks from, better package for these players in separate deals possibly, rather than conveying them to the Lakers and getting Russell Westbrook, who they're probably going to buy out, and a draft pick that's uncertain, that's 5-7 years away. It doesn't look promising in that regard there. And then also looking at Utah with Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Bogdan Bogdanovic, there's all these guys there that they can potentially get better deals for and better packages for, in assets and players that they possibly like to help their rebuild. So I don't see these Laker picks potentially saying 5-7 years down the road, with the Lakers potentially having all this cap space, most likely re-signing Anthony Davis in the 2025 offseason. LeBron's probably either going to re-sign or go to play with his son, or whatever the case may be. But who's to say these picks are as valuable as they say they are? And I just don't know. I don't think that's a gamble that other teams are willing to take and pay Russell Westbrook and, spread out his contract out. Teams usually do over the next couple of years. I don't see that benefiting a team right now. So for the Lakers, they're trying to make it seem like those options are there when they're really not. They're not set in stone there for the other teams. They're not it's not a makeshift deal like Danny Ainge trading Rudy Gobert, or even trading Donovan Mitchell, or the Spurs trading Javonte Murray. So it's like those picks that they keep they're trying to dangle. And it's like, if the push is now for the Los Angeles Lakers, trade those picks, because in 5-7 years, why are you concerned about that when you're the Lakers? You know what I mean? In that case, like, hey, let's try to trade these picks. Let's try to trade Russell Westbrook, and let's try to get better now. We're in win now mode. You can try to make a deal happen so you guys can be better this season and the next couple of seasons while you have LeBron and while Anthony Davis is probably going to have a bounce back season. Try to get as much as you can out of these guys for right now. And then if their contracts are up in 2025, you have free book. You have free cap space. Go sign people like you've done your whole your whole franchise history. Go trade for a big time player. They traded for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think they made the trade for the pick for James Worthy the season prior. They've traded for Shaq. They drafted Kobe. When you really look at their franchise lineage, the only guys that were homegrown there has been Magic Johnson and has been Kobe Bryant, who they've brought in as rookies and really groomed to be legendary status players in the game. You've always taken stars from other teams. Wilt Chamberlain. I forgot Jerry West in that homegrown thing too. But Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq. You know what I mean? Like Pau Gasol. Like all these guys that you have brought in, you guys have taken from another place and brought to the lure of LA. Why is there such a hesitant to go all in and go win now? That's just my opinion on the matter. But that's what they should be doing. I don't see why they're sitting here like, oh, we're going to try to hold these picks and try to try to build a team. That you're not building a team that way. You're the Los Angeles Lakers. You had a can't miss with Magic Johnson at number one. You've had Kobe Bryant, who Jerry West pegged from Philadelphia, was like, yeah, we're going to take this kid and basically usher him into the Lakers. And Kobe Bryant was willing to do the work and willing to take on the challenge and be one of the best players all time. You're not built that way. And when you tried to do it with Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson, Kyle Kuzma, you guys still went after LeBron. Why did you guys bring LeBron there? To win championships. So you're not going to sit there and try to hold your future and act like you're Cleveland or Miami when LeBron went to those stops where those are different media markets and stuff. You're LA. Act like you're an LA franchise. And I love clowning the Lakers and shitting on their fans and stuff like that. But it's like, you guys are the Los Angeles Lakers. You guys are supposed to be making power moves. That's what you have done your whole franchise history. And to sit here and be like, I don't know, I don't want to give up these 27 and 29 picks. I don't know if that's the right move, and be so hesitant. It's like, you guys are the Lakers. You guys are the Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers. Sunshine City, Sunshine State, whatever it is. Sunshine State, I think that's Florida. But whatever the case may be, you're LA. Players are not selling to you guys. You guys are selling to players like, hey, come play for us. That should be your motto all the time. You guys should be trying to get the biggest free agents, the best players. And just to say that, like, just the opposite side as a Boston Celtics fan, we don't lure big free agents to Boston. Like, that doesn't happen in our franchise history. We're able to trade for KG because we had the assets. We were able to get Ray Allen because he was cool. We were able to get KG because we got Ray Allen, but we had the assets to get those guys. It wasn't like those guys were like, yeah, I'm signing in Boston. That's completely opposite what Boston has to do because of the weather, the location, the Eastern Conference. It's not sunny, whatever the case may be. But it's like, these are just the total flip side where Boston has built their team through drafts, through small trades and free agency and like that. We don't get big free agents like that. But the Lakers history, you guys are the Lakers. Go be the Lakers. Do what you need to do to win. That's what you guys have done all the time. And now you guys are being hesitant, trying to act like you're going to draft somebody, like you guys are going to do that plethora of it. And then, first of all, on top of that, you guys traded Ball, Ingram. You guys kept Kyle Kuzma, but traded him for, again, like you guys traded for Anthony Davis. You guys gave up all those picks. Randall, Ball, Ingram. And then you traded Kyle Kuzma and all these guys to get Russell Westbrook. So there's no difference there. Why is there a hesitation here? Go be the Lakers. That's my whole thing. Go be the Lakers. Do what you need to do. And as much as I hate the Lakers, to see this hesitance and uncertainty to act like you guys aren't the Lakers, go ahead. Mess up. Go ahead. Mess up. Matter of fact, go mess up. Don't catch the Celtics in championships. Go mess up. Go lose. That's what I need you guys to do. Go lose. continue to be in mediocrity, continue to be boring, continue to be uncertainty, continue to have chaos, and waste these LeBron years, waste these Anthony Davis years where you guys need to win. Go ahead and waste them. That's all I'm going to say about that. But as for the Lakers, continuing, looking at Russell Westbrook, and he's one of my favorite players all time. I love his MVP season, just the heart he gave, and just not giving up, no quit, all go. That's been Russell Westbrook his whole career. That's my guy. I think the knee surgeries took away his shot a little bit, and that's why he's been disastrous in Houston, in Washington, and now LA. He's working with a shooting coach, working on a shot. There's videos on YouTube of him working on a shot. But that has been my guy since Oklahoma City, since he was a young boy dunking, raw, athletic. And I can get into a whole Russell Westbrook spiel. Maybe I'll save that for another episode where I just basically speak on my fandom of Russell Westbrook and other guys like that. But looking at his relationship with Darvin Ham, it seems to be a different trajectory with the franchise. When Darvin Ham was introduced as the Lakers coach, he was basically talking about how Russ has to change on the defensive end and kind of worked with Russ to get better for this team. And I think Russell Westbrook was there at his press conference. They've talked a lot. I think he respects Darvin Ham. I think there's an understanding between those two. Hey, we got to make this work. And that seems to be the opposite of what the franchise wants to do with Russell Westbrook, where they're looking to trade him. Russ is once out. But it looks like there's a relationship there with him and Darvin Ham. But you look at all the point guards they have. They have Kendrick Nunn coming back after that knee injury. I think he banged his knee off a coffee table, and that messed up his knee. They just got Dennis Schroeder from FIBA basketball after his Germany for his second stint. And they have Patrick Beverley, who's basically they're thinking about playing the 2-guard or whatever the case may be. Cool, whatever. But having all those guards, it seems like you guys are having a safety blanket in place in case you guys trade Russell Westbrook. Not necessarily for a point guard, but necessarily for other position players on the wing and in the front court. And looking at that, it's just like, okay, cool, whatever. Russ is at this stage in his career where it's kind of like Allen Iverson, where he has to adapt or die. And Russell Westbrook has been my guy, again, since OKC. So it's like it's tough to see him in this position, even in LA, even though I want the Lakers to stink, and they did last season. I want Russ to do good. That's my guy. I'm a Russell Westbrook fan, but looking at what this team could be if he's able to buy in, if he's able to play more off ball, he has never done that in his career. Let's just get that straight. He has never done that in his career, probably early days of OKC, and especially with James Harden as the primary ball handler there in OKC as the sixth man late in games. But that's not his game. He's never been that type of guy. So sitting here looking at that situation is tough, but I want Russ to do good. What the Lakers' impact this season I think they could have, I don't know. I've said in the past, especially last season, I was like, the only way the Lakers are going to be good is if they do it on the defensive end. The only problem is the Lakers traded all their defensive players for shooting and all these other guys that just didn't work, didn't mesh. Melo, I can't even think of the guys they had on their roster last year, but they traded all their defense. They got rid of Kyle Kuzma and KCP to Washington. And not to say that Kyle Kuzma was a defensive player. He was another scorer, another young guy you can kind of develop in your system, and they traded him like all the other guys. So KCP was gone. Rondo was gone. All these other guys that played defense and were playmakers and shooters and stuff like that, you guys basically built on the defensive end. All those guys were gone. That's why the Lakers were horseshit on top of all the guys being injured last season. The only way I can see this happening is if Anthony Davis is healthy and has a monster season and just is aggressive and really leading the charge and playing off LeBron and Russ. Russ has to be a better defender. LeBron is going to be whatever it is Anthony Davis is on defense, because that 2020 season, we saw LeBron's defense come back all of a sudden. And that's basically what it's going to be. If Anthony Davis is playing at a high level for the Los Angeles Lakers, I can see them just making it out of the play-in, all good things happening. But looking at it, people are saying this team's going to be a 9th seed, which is possible. The Lakers' range for me is middle of the road in the Western Conference to play-in team. That's what it is. That's my expectations for them. Middle of the road, best potential, because I don't think they're going to be better than the Warriors. They're not going to be better than the Grizzlies. They're not going to be better than the Nuggets. They're not going to be they're not going to be better than the Clippers or people I'll talk about in the next video, the next segment of this. they're not going to be better than those teams. So at worst case, they're looking at 5 or 6. And if they can get out just above 7, that's the best case scenario for them. They give themselves a puncher's chance in any series, of course, with LeBron and Anthony Davis playing at a high level. And it's depending on what backcourt is. If Russell Westbrook is going to adjust, is he going to still be on the roster? Are those pieces that they're bringing in going to make a difference? So the Lakers definitely have to figure out what they're doing with Russell Westbrook and those draft picks if they're going to make a serious effort to compete now, or they're going to be at the bottom of the play-in, and that's not where LeBron James is. That's not where the league wants him. That's not where the league wants the Lakers. They're a big media market, historical franchise, and to have all these names on your roster and still be at the bottom, that's not a good look. So we'll see how it plays out for the Los Angeles Lakers.